Tokyo Xtreme Racer running in slow motion. Your car's doing 150, but it looks like 20. Here's the settings fix in under 2 minutes. The game literally plays at half speed. You're clocking max speed, but it feels slower than a sim. Or your FPS is fine for 10 minutes, then tanks to a slideshow, and you have to restart the whole game. This is it. I tested every setting one by one. Global illumination alone drops FPS by over 50%. Here's what actually matters. Escape, options, graphics settings. First, the thing killing your game, global illumination. Set this to medium. Above medium, it turns on lumen ray tracing and your FPS craters. People on 4070s are getting 18 frames at default because of this one setting. Medium to high is a 36% FPS drop. Medium to ultra is 55%. Just set it to medium. Shadows high. This is the second biggest FPS killer. If you're still struggling, drop to medium. Low to ultra is a 46% difference. Now the rest. Draw distance ultra. Post-processing medium. Kills the motion blur and the bloom. Reflections medium. High reflections at night are distracting and barely cost FPS anyway. Effects high. Barely matters. Shading high. Zero measurable FPS difference in testing. Textures ultra. Drop if you're running low on VRAM. FPS limit. This is the big one. The devs tied the physics to the frame rate, so if your FPS drops below 60, the entire game slows down. Not just visually, the physics literally run slower. This is why your car feels like it's underwater. Set this to 60 if you're dropping frames. If you can hold it a stable 60 plus, leave it unlimited. VSync off. If you want sync, use G-Sync or FreeSync through your GPU panel. Upscaling, NVIDIA DLSS. Balanced if NVIDIA, Sharpness 0.3. No NVIDIA, try FXAA. The TSR option works, but test it yourself. Frame generation off, it's broken, and people on 4090s say it doesn't even work. And if it does, it causes slow-mo because your real frames drop below 60. FOV, bump to 90. A lot of people think the game feels slow when it's actually just low FOV. 85 feels way slower than 95 at the same actual speed. If the game runs fine at first, then gets worse after 10 to 15 minutes, that's a memory leak. Restart the game. Some people also fixed post-patch stutters by doing a clean driver reinstall with display driver uninstaller. Load in the free roam, hit a straight highway. You should have stable FPS and cars rendering in the distance. More importantly, when you're over 150, it should actually feel like 150 now. You just fixed the slow motion bug. If you're still getting slowdown, comment your GPU and I'll tell you exactly what to change. Subscribe so the next person finds this instead of a 15-minute video.